Subtle systems of indoctrination and control. We'll be looking at one of those today. I think something that's going to be controversial, yes, but more importantly, it's going to cause you to think thoughts that you've never thought before, consider things that maybe you haven't considered before, and to talk about things that you never talked before. We're here to get you out of your paradigm. We're here to get you out of your comfort zone because, folks, there's nothing remarkable in your comfort zone. There's nothing great. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing unusual in your comfort zone. We want to get you out of it, and we want to get you to think, ladies and gentlemen, to think about things in ways that you haven't thought about them before. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Today, we're going to talk about subtle systems of indoctrination and control. We're here to help you guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, and be your own guru. Here to remind you you're divine, sovereign, and free. You're not born with original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to let you know that you are a great group. Even our resident trolls, we're so glad to see them because we know that we are right over the target then, and that is a great, great thing. So, folks, we're going to talk about this today, and I'm going to ask you to set aside your beliefs, set aside your programming if you can for just a moment, and try to look at things in a fashion of objectivity. And I just don't know if it's possible, but we're going to do our best to try to bring you to that place. I want to talk about some subtle systems of indoctrination. A lot of these systems of indoctrination are not subtle. They are out there. They are very in your face. And I know that we had an individual attack some people at the London Bridge today, and we want to send our condolences to the folks that were injured. And of course, it was a guy that had already been arrested for terrorism, and they let him out again. And folks, this shows you that there's no doubt that we must ban all knives. All knives must be banned. The only knives that should be allowed are those ones from McDonald's, the plastic ones that you can't really cut anything with. Those are the only knives that, ladies and gentlemen, can be allowed, is those knives. Those are the only ones. And it's just that ridiculous. That's what they want. And it shows you that even if they were successful in getting our guns, they wouldn't stop there. Then they would go for the knives. They will not be satisfied until we are completely unarmed peasants. And they'd rather have us deeply in debt and deeply indoctrinated too. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Subtle system of indoctrination and control. College. What? College? Jeff, come on. Now you've gone too far. Well, let's look at college and going to college from a couple of different perspectives. Look at it from a modern perspective. So kind of the modern perspective now on college is, well, you have to go. Everybody knows that you've got to get a college degree. And folks, can I just suggest to you that when you start hearing things like everybody knows, you got to be stupid if, those are the times to wake up and realize if they say everybody knows, then everybody doesn't know. And if everybody does know, it's time for us to probably take the other route. Because if everybody's doing it and everybody knows, it's probably wrong. So let's look at this and let's just talk about this for a minute. You've got to go to college. It's going to take you 4 to 6 years. And in those 4 to 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, and I have been to college, so I'm not throwing stones at anyone. I'm not arguing for ignorance, but listen to this. You are immersed in a pseudo world when you're in college. A world that only exists in college, and a world that only works within the safe haven of intelligentsia. Think about that. The world of college, the world of higher education, so-called, the world of intelligentsia, it's not a real world. Hello, Elizabeth. It's not a real world. And it only works within itself. It's not a real world. You don't get safe zones in a real world. You don't get to dictate what people say and think about you in the real world. It's just ridiculous. But let's put that aside for another moment. You get immersed from 4 to 6 years in a pseudo world that only exists and only works within the safe haven of intelligentsia. And there's a lot of people in this world that I feel very, very sorry for, as Tracy Dyer's taking care of business. They got nothing better to do than make up a bunch of different YouTube names and try to stop the proliferation of freeing information. I have pity on you, and I would especially have pity on, I just have pity on you. So let's go forward with this. And not only do you spend 4 to 6 years in this unreal world, you also get deeply programmed into the deep state mindset. Have you stopped and looked and read and understood at all the things that they're being teaching today in the high school and in the college degree? Have you ever considered what they're teaching in college now? So not only are you in a pseudo world that doesn't work, a pseudo world that really doesn't exist, not only are you being programmed in the deep state mindset, but you're also, ladies and gentlemen, being saddled with amazing debt. You're being saddled with amazing debt, massive debt. Think about it. You go to college for 4 to 6 years, and you're in debt usually up to and around $100,000. And the worst part of it all probably is that you're not getting anything in college that's going to help you, and you're going to wind up terminally underemployed. Terminally underemployed. I'm going to say something about managing a McDonald's. I'm not coming down on anybody that manages a McDonald's. Managing a McDonald's is an honorable vocation. But when you go to college for 4 years and you're $100,000 in debt and you wind up managing a McDonald's, that's not what it's meant for. Managing a McDonald's is for the person smart enough to avoid the $100,000 worth of debt and learn how to build themselves up from the ground floor up and take over a McDonald's. Or I can just tell you example after example of people woefully underemployed, terminally underemployed, because they went to college for 4 to 6 years, because everybody goes to college for 4 to 6 years. They're programmed in the deep state mindset. They're saddled with massive debt. They're terminally underemployed. And then they are slaves to the system. And it's intended to be that way, ladies and gentlemen. It's intended to be that way, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a little bit, I wish, give me some good juju. I'm a little bit off because of these attacks that we're undergoing. And, I like to think I'm 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and I typically am. But sometimes when I get attacked like this, it does make me want to wring some necks. And you can't ever find anybody because they never will face you face to face. They're all backstabbing cowards, and that's okay. And I know who starts them, and I know who sends them, and that's okay too. But we're going to persevere, and we know that we are overcoming because we're facing such opposition, ladies and gentlemen. And that's great, and that's okay, and we'll just continue to press right on. But that's what happens to you in college. You're saddled with this massive debt. You're terminally unemployed, and then if you don't pay your bills, they're going to tax your wages. They're going to attach your entire wealth. You're a slave to the system. And much of you really do buy into it, and you're a willing slave to the system. a really slave to the system. Tyler, I've already made a video about the great whales of Genesis 1:21. They're not whales, they're majestic serpents, is what the original Hebrew says. So, been there, done that. Do try to keep up. So that's the modern college perspective. What about the classic college perspective? Where does it come from? Where does this modern perspective come from? Well, the classic college perspective is that the people that started the whole idea of college were the Jesuits. The Jesuits have always known this system. They've always done this system. That's why the first people into any missionary area are the Jesuits, and they're in with education. And they know they will work this system as long as the system works. They will work this system as long as the system works. And this system works as long as we participate in it, as long as we support it, and as long as we keep quiet about it. Isn't it interesting that the whole idea of college started with Jesuit mind control, getting you into a place where you're under bondage to the state? And they have perfected it today when you've got all these people, well-meaning people, 4 to 6 years, more indoctrination, massive debt, terminally unemployed, slaves to the system. It makes perfect sense. And the origins of it make perfect sense. Now, listen to this. Am I saying that I'm putting a premium on ignorance? No, I'm not. Here's what I think, and here's what I recommend at this point in the world today. This is what I recommend in the world today. And you know what's interesting? There's many uber successful people. In fact, most of the uber successful people have no college. Most of the people that have changed this world, no college. Most of the people that have done amazing things, no college. Now, unless you have a crystal clear clarion call, unless you have a crystal clear focus that is laser focused, you know exactly what you want to do, you know exactly what you want to be, and that income or that targeted outcome absolutely demands college, don't go to college. Stay out of the web. And how many people, as Scotty Boy brings up, how many people with college degrees are driving Ubers? But Autumn says you'll find yourself out of work. No, you won't. See, that's the lie. Right now, people are spending 4 to 6 years in college being indoctrinated and getting out of college with $100,000 in debt and still can't get a job. Would you rather have trouble getting a job and no debt, or would you rather have trouble getting a job and have $100,000 worth of debt? You choose. Forget it. Stay out of the web. Here's what you really should do. Here's what you really should do, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion. Learn yourself a great trade. There are schools out there where you can learn trades, where you can do things with your hands, where you can become experts in a trade, or find out what your great basic purpose is and start doing that as your income. There's so many people that are underemployed and in huge debt because they bought the lie. Everybody's got to go to college. Get yourself a trade. Find a way to make a living at your great basic purpose, what you really do, ladies and gentlemen. It'll keep you from getting indoctrinated for an extra 4 to 6 years. It'll keep you out of debt, and it'll keep you from being trapped in a lifetime of debt enslavement for something that is basically worthless, worthless, worthless. Get yourself a trade. Learn to do a trade, go to a trade school, and you will always have something to do, and you will not be hugely in debt, just like so many people are. And you'll save yourself an avenue of indoctrination, ladies and gentlemen, and you won't have to live with your mom. You won't have to not have any girlfriends or boyfriends and be grossly overweight and have to be on YouTube all day acting like a troll, making fun of people that are actually doing something and changing lives. And it's so interesting what's going on. It really is. Dunkin' Donuts founded by a man with no school. Interesting. No offense to people that have to live with their parents before they get their feet on the ground. No, that's not what I meant, KTMA. But a lot of those people that have to live with their parents before they get their feet on the ground, you know why they have to? Because they got college debt. DG says that she enjoyed her days in college. Well, I'm glad you did. And if you're one of the ones that actually got a job and you're actually employed at a level commensurate with the debt that you have endured or your parents incurred, well, good for you. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking to most people. Scotty Boy left school in the 9th grade, went to work, have friends who finished school, went to college, only to come home and work for him. Bo Diamond has a college degree, a professional degree, and moved to another country, and it's worthless. She'll never work in that field. It is so frustrating. Well, Maria, you can do it. You can do it. Life is too short to work a job you hate. But when you're trapped in debt, you can't just quit. They'll take everything that you have. John Straumitis' brother started a billion-dollar company. Doesn't even have a high school diploma. How about that? How about that? Most jobs do not need a college education, says Tracy Dyer. KT Emma says she's got lots of certificates. She's got certificates that she's paid lots of money for, and they're probably not worth the paper that they're printed on. And I see a lot of quotes in the chat room about me saying, there's this little punk. I'm not even going to name his name because it'll get him publicity. But he was making fun of me and making videos about me. So I called him out. I said, let's debate. Of course, he wouldn't debate. First, he tried to get a girl to debate me for him. He tried to get a girl to debate me for him. And then he just showed by not debating me that he's a big mouth, do nothing, poussoir, and all he can do is sit around here, him and his 3 friends, and attack our channel as a troll. I do have sympathy for you. You are pathetic. And I do hope that you find a purpose for your life because it's just really, really sad and sick and pathetic what you're doing. The poussoir who's starting it and the ones that follow him. It's really, really pathetic. Sorry to hear that you're actually that pathetic in your life. Try to get a girl to stick up for you, and then all you want to do is yell and scream at somebody, and you don't have the guts to actually debate them. The London Bridge thing is a false flag. Somebody says it's just it cut off the top of the screen. They watched a guy run away from the screen holding a knife, a scene holding a knife. Don't know if it's a false flag or not. And we have to be careful on those things because whether it's a false flag or not, whether it was planned or not, if there's people that lost their lives, this is serious business. Oh, well, they didn't really die. You don't know. You weren't there. We must err on the side of caution. We must err on the side of respect for life. We must err on the side of respect for individual dignity. And the idea is not to figure out whether the London stabbing was a false flag or not. The idea is to sit there and figure out, if we've got people in our country that have been arrested for terrorism, maybe we ought not to let them out of jail on early release. That's the lesson here. Don't let that get lost in the narrative of whether it was a false flag or whether it was this or whether it was that, crisis actors. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how a convicted terrorist got out of jail early. That's the takeaway here, folks. That's the real lesson. Please, let's focus on the real things and not let ourselves be drugged around by the nose like a bunch of dummies. Like a bunch of dummies. Let's see what else we got here. Jovanka's at the movies. I wonder what she's watching. Hope she has a good time. And don't watch your cell phone during the movie theater. That's rude. I hate it when that happens. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Good day today. Naomi says every day is a good day, and today is one of them for sure. What else we got going on here? I just missed another live with Tony Sayers. So Tony was on a few days ago. Great program. Make sure you watch that, Critical Thinker. Hello to you in Nashville, Jim Newkirk. What's next? No socks. No, yeah, we can't. We got to outlaw everything. Have to outlaw everything. Eddie says he has a friend in England and you can't buy a butter knife without an ID. I don't know if that's true or false, but it's probably coming that way. Tracy Dyer says that college is a waste of time and money. I almost 100% agree with that. There is an exception, in my opinion, of someone that says they've known ever since they were 5 years old they wanted to be an attorney. They wanted to try to make a change in the legal system. You got to go to college to become an attorney. Those type of things, I think we have to leave open. But for most people, in most situations, college is a waste of time and money. Pamela Jean says college-educated programming is the worst. She's absolutely right. One Flame of Fire says college is a re-education center. Yes, it is. Tracy says it's a prolonged childhood. Yes, it is. Cynthia's financial counselor, a guy that handles over $1 billion in assets, says that it is his belief that people should go to trade school. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Self-educated. There's nothing in college that you cannot learn outside of it, says Runaway Train. I agree with that. Elizabeth says, peace and blessing, everyone. Thank you so much for that, Elizabeth. College students do not know who's laying the chemtrails. College students don't think there are chemtrails. They're being indoctrinated. Maria left school in grade 11, found out that she was learning lies, and now homeschools her kids. And I'll bet those are the smartest kids in town. Gaia's Gift says college is a scam. Jovanka says academia is a form of depletion of the real world. Absolutely. I agree with you, Jovanka. Not to mention you can insert yourself into a debt system that most can't climb out of. Scotty made that comment before I got to it, and that's actually true. Well, I've learned from Elizabeth. Thank you so much. She says she's learned more from me in 1 year than her whole childhood church growing up. Thank you for that. That's why I do what I do. That's what keeps me coming back in the face of lots of opposition, and I really appreciate it so much. Tracy makes an interesting point. It used to be mandated up to 8th grade education. Then they mandated up to year 12 education. And they're trying to mandate up to year 14 education. And you hear a lot of the Democratic candidates talk about making college free. You've got to understand college is never going to be free. It's just other people are going to have to pay for it. And guess who the other people are? The people that work jobs and pay taxes. So when the Democrats talk about free college, they're not talking about free college. They're talking about you paying for somebody else's college. It ain't free to you if you're going to work and paying your taxes. Don't buy that lie, and don't get yourself caught in the college trap. That is my advice to you today. Jovanka says it's a form of enslavement. I agree 100%. Amy says you're paying for your own indoctrination. Ooh, that's a really insightful comment. Really insightful comment. Let's see, paying $2,000 for a bowling class in college, right? Many dentists. Now, this is interesting. Critical Thinker says this, and she says it from a position that I sense that she knows what she's talking about. Says a lot of dentists take their lives due to debt. Wow. That is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. If you buy a McDonald's at 30 years of age, by the time you retire, you're a millionaire. But how are you going to get the money to buy the McDonald's franchise at 30, Jama? But I'm with you. I understand. Then they went to college for something stupid then. Blake Weber obviously doesn't get it, but that's okay because not everybody will. Thanks for showing up, Blake. But brother, you're not getting, you're not understanding, and you just can't close your eyes to a world of evidence and pretend that it's not there. You can't jump in a lake without any life preserver and sink to the bottom and pretend the water's not there. You're still going to drown. You're still going to drown. And let's see what else we got. You can tell who doesn't have college, though. You probably can, Autumn. You can tell who doesn't have college because they don't vote for Bernie Sanders. They don't think that everybody that has made a dollar is evil. They don't think that it's okay to let anybody and everybody just stream into the country and take up and consume stuff for free that Americans have to sweat and pay for. They don't believe, you can tell who doesn't go to college because they want to just go ahead and let all of the deep state take over everything. You can tell who doesn't have college. You really can. Melly, we both know why I'm being attacked. Thank you for saying that. Jeff, as much as you want to, you can't beat the stupid out of them, says Scotty Boy. I am a man of peace. I do believe in a little namaste on your ass every now and then. But, there is something to be said for the old days when men could settle things like men. The old days when bitches used to get stitches. I know I'm going to take a lot of flack for this, and I know that I probably shouldn't say it. And I'm really not mad and angry, but the reason why you have people do the things they do and act the way they act, it's because they know that there's no repercussions for it. It used to be back in my day, I'm 56, I'm getting old. Back when I was 20, 30 years old, if I did the stuff that these people do, I would have to fight. I would be punched right in the face. And when you can hide in grandma's basement or your mom's basement and know that you're not going to have to answer for any of the crap you say, it's very, very easy to be a bitch. But when bitches used to get stitches, it was a better world, in my opinion. Now, I'm not advocating beating people up, but boy, I tell you what, there's things in my life that I could square off with somebody, maybe only one or two things, and within 10 minutes, the whole situation would be solved. Somebody might have a stitch or two, but there'd be one less bitch or two as well. And sometimes you miss a world where a man could face off with another man and solve a problem, or where a man could face off and find out that the person that pretends they're a man is a little bitch and they run away crying, or you end up slapping them because they're not even worth a punch. It was just a better day, in my opinion, when you could do things that way. And it wasn't where you would get in a fight and someone's going to pull out a gun and shoot the other guy. There was an understanding. We're going to fight. And when I knock you down and you say, okay, I've had enough, you stop. It was a different day. There was some honor. There was some chivalry. But those days are gone. And sometimes I miss them, Scotty boy. It used to be a day when you could beat the stupid out of somebody. And it didn't take much. It didn't take much. I kind of miss those days a little bit. Does that make me a bad guy? I'm still a namaste guy. I'm still a man of peace. But every now and then, a little piece of this, a little piece of that solves a lot of problems. I remember one day my son said, this is blunt force and this is trauma. Anyway, there you go. And Flame of Fire, that's where I am, really. I do feel sorry for them because they've got nothing better to do with their life. Can you imagine how sad and lonely and disempowered and small and pathetic you must feel when no matter what you're doing, no matter what the weather is where you are, no matter, there's got to be something better for you to do than make up 6, 8, 10, 12 YouTube channel names and go around and troll people and say nasty things until they block you in one and come back and say nasty things till you get blocked in another. Do you imagine how pathetic and sad that life is? I really do have empathy for them. I really do have compassion for them. And sometimes if a bitch got a stitch, that would solve that problem too. So I'm just saying, you can be a man of peace. You can be a man of namaste, and you can be a man of namaste for your ass every now and then. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. What else we got? It should be free since you can't live without college. Aleph, I understand what you're saying, but you've bought the lie. Fact of the matter is you can live without college. You can live well without college. Bill Gates, last I heard, he was living pretty well. Bill Gates, no college. Just saying. Just saying. A lot of guys, a lot of girls, no college, doing great. Doing great. Don't buy that lie, Aleph. You can be amazing without college. In fact, you probably would be more amazing if you stayed out of there and stayed out from under the debt, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got here? Pamela, it wouldn't be worth it. What did Pamela say? Let me go back and see what Pamela said. Education should be free. Pamela, again, nothing is really free. Let's say that they made the colleges free tomorrow. College is free for anyone that wants to go to college. Pamela, who's paying the light bill? We'll let the government pay it. What does the government sell to make money, Pamela? What service does the government offer to make money, Pamela? How does the government make money, Pamela? By taking money from us. There's no such thing as free college. There's such thing as people like me paying for people like you to go. It's not free. You just don't got to pay for it. And most of the time, that which you get with little to no effort, you attach little to no value to it. And you begin to say things like, well, it should be free. Why should it be free? Is anything else that you work for? Should you have a free house? Should you have free food? Well, yeah, I think so. It sounds like you've been to college. We come from a world where you work for yourself. We come from a world where you add value to a community, not be an empty taker that doesn't give anything back. And if that's what you think you should be or want to be, I do feel, again, bad for you. But nothing's free. Understand that. Nothing's free. Things that come from the government are not free. Now, the only way they can make college free is if they make the college itself pay for students' tuition out of their already being used funds, like University of Alabama has to let all its students go for free, but they take the money out of their athletic budget. Problem is, that works great at Alabama, but it doesn't work really good at Alabama, Wesleyan, South Side. University of Alabama got a big budget. They can pay a lot of tuitions. Western Alabama, Sister Grace, not a lot of athletics, not a big budget. It doesn't work. There's no such thing as free anything, especially where the government's involved. The government takes money from people to give other people free things. And if you think that that's okay, then there's something intrinsically gone wrong in your mind, in your soul. Deep down in your soul, you're broken. You have no self-worth if you think that you should just be given everything. What's wrong with you? The world does not work that way. And until you change your mind, you're not going to have any success in this world. And we don't want that for you. We want you to wake up. We want you to shape up. We want you to get a damn job and go to work and understand ain't nothing free in this world. Nothing free in this world. And you can live without college. There's nothing wrong with a cult as long as it rings true. Cult is a harmless word that's just short of culture. I see where you're going with that runaway train, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I would say no to cults. I don't think there's any good cults. That's just my 2 cents, and we can certainly agree to disagree. We can certainly agree to disagree. Cynthia L says, put $2,000 a year in a money market, starting at 18 years old. Do it for 10 years. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. You've got over $2 million when you turn 65 for a $20,000 investment. Compare that math and that tactic with paying $2,000 for your first semester in college at 18, and then $2,000 for the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, the next one, and the next one. And then get out, get your job, and at 65, let's see if you've got over $2 million. You won't. You won't. And do you realize that at $2,000, let's think about this. $2,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull up my calculator because I'm a Bible college graduate. Boy, that was a great investment. Not a math major. I just changed phones and now I can't recognize a calculator. Here you go. $2,000 when you're 18 years old. Okay, you're 18 years old, and let's say you work for $10 an hour. And you work 40 hours a week, 400 hours, $1,600 a month. $1,600 a month times 12 gives you $19,200. So let's say that for you got to do this when you're 18. So about you're 16 years old. You work full time. It can be done. By the time you are 18, you can put $20,000 in a money market account at 18 years old. And then keep putting $2,000 more dollars in because now you got a better job. And then when you're 28, you stop putting money into it. You pretend like it's not there. And then when you turn 65, you've got over $2 million to retire on. That makes a whole lot of sense. Every one of you can do that. Well, I'm not 18. Well, what if you're 28 and you do it when you're 28, do it till you're 38 and don't touch it again until you're 75? Or you have over $1.5 million at 65. Makes so much more sense than throwing your money away at college. But anyway, it's just something that you can think about, ladies and gentlemen. Just something you can think about. Let's see. What else we got? Books cost a fortune. Yeah. And listen to what Blind Girl says. There's certain services for the blind that you can't even get unless you're going to college. Think about that. They're trying to rope you into college so they can indoctrinate you. I know many people, so many people, says Critical Thinker, who've changed their majors, don't get a job doing anything they've studied. Yep. Learn trade, says Autumn Cardona. I agree 100%. Why not free education or medical coverage? Aren't all of you paying enough taxes? I don't understand that, TT. Compound interest, the magic of compound interest. Yep. Who else would it start with but the Jesuits? Exactly. Do you really want government managing healthcare? If you have the government managing healthcare, you're going to get healthcare with the efficiency of the post office and the empathy of the IRS. No, thank you. I would rather not. No, thank you. I would rather not. I want to be president, says Delaney. Okay. Nothing is free. That's right. Learn a trade, start a business. You're right. One flame of fire. Let's see. Most people pass up jobs after high school to go to college. Ooh, that's a great point, Scotty boy. That's a great point, Scotty boy. I have 3 pharmacy assistants with university degrees, says Jovanka. How about that? No one wants to go to trade school, though, man. That's because people have drank the Kool-Aid. That's the people that have drank the Kool-Aid. I would love to go on tinfoil hat, teaching how to defend against reptilians. Been on tinfoil hat, taught about how to defend against reptilians. Might as well do it there. Would love to do it. Would love to do it. Let's see. What else we got? I think we're done. I think we're done. I finished school in the 9th grade. I already read that one. We read about the brother started a $1 billion company without a diploma. That's without a high school diploma. That's amazing. Tariel's 18-year-old daughter is learning woodworking from her dad, helping him install cabinets. She's doing great. She's going to make a lot of money, and she is not going to have any debt. That is amazing. Smart girl, smart parents. Smart girl, smart parents. Thank you very much, Keith. I appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got another show I want to do tonight about that Moloch statue. Over in the over at the Coliseum. I think you're going to want to see that. AI says university is free in Germany, and you get state living, etc. expenses unless your parents are high earners, but it keeps people studying way longer than necessary. Exactly. And AI, can I say this? It's really easy for Germany to offer that to their citizens when the United States is paying for their defense. If Germany had to pay for its own defense, they wouldn't be able to do that. And I think it's about time. I think President Trump is right. Let's stop paying for the defense of these other companies like Germany that can pay for their own defense and take the money that we're paying to allow German kids to go to school as long as they're doing good. And you have to also have service in Germany. You have to do police, some type of a service like that. It's not just free. So maybe we can take some of the money that we're giving to Germany, some of the money we're giving to Israel, some of the money we're giving to France, some of the money we're giving to Japan. Let Israel, Germany, France, and Japan take care of their damn selves and use that money at home and offer the same opportunities to American kids that we're offering to German, Japanese, Israeli, and French kids. Just a thought. Just a thought. Thank you, Gary. And you are an inspiration to me as well. And I mean that 100%. There we go. Never stop learning. I agree with that. Never stop learning. Carpenters built this world. Well, brick masons would argue with you, but together they did for sure. Tariel's older son does the family business as well. Do you believe Kid Rock is a racist because he said on stage he doesn't like Oprah? I don't like Oprah. Am I a racist? The answer to that is no. If Oprah was white and he said he didn't like Oprah, would they be calling him an anti-white racist? No. Just because Oprah happens to be black and he said he don't like her doesn't mean he don't like black people. It means he don't like black Oprah. If Oprah were white, he wouldn't like her any better. If Oprah were Asian, Oprah, he wouldn't like her. He still wouldn't like her, even if she was Asian Oprah. Come on, they got Asian Alex Jones. I can make an Asian Oprah joke. Tracy Dyer needs to learn to express herself. She's so reserved. Tracy Dyer says, no, Oprah is a kid-touching people eater. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I like that. Oprah is evil, people. I agree she's evil. I really do. Oprah talks a lot. She does talk a lot. She does talk a lot. Good for you, AI. He probably knows things about Oprah that we cannot even begin to imagine. It's possible. So we'll see you back again later this evening for a shortish show. I can't believe the stuff that you, Social Observer wants to know, and he didn't pay this time, but I'll answer his question anyway. He usually does a super chat. He says, do you believe in the geocentric Earth model or the heliocentric Earth model? I don't know, Social Observer. I really don't know. I am in the midst of studying, thinking. I don't know. I do not know, but I do know this, that those that believe in the geocentric Earth model should listen to the rationale of the people that believe in the heliocentric model, and people that believe in the heliocentric model should listen to the rationale of the people that believe in the geocentric Earth model. There are brilliant people that believe in the geocentric Earth model. There are brilliant people that believe in the heliocentric Earth model. And there's a lot, I bet if we got together instead of fighting each other, and I'm not on either side, I bet if we all got together and just try to figure it out, we could all solve it. But we're too busy calling each other globetards and flat-tards. It's time for discussion. It's time for debate. It's time for study without the name calling, without the ad hominem. And together we can actually get to a understandable conclusion, I think. I really think so. Let's see. Please, could you challenge a pastor, ex-Satanist over there, claiming to be a saved pastor? He's still Satanist and not changed. He has books. It depends upon how many, I'll be just straight up honest with you. It depends upon how many subscribers he has. If he's got 4, no, I'm not going to challenge him. Because I got to consider my time and a payoff for what I do. Let's see what else we got here. Remember, no, I don't want to talk about Kid Rock. There's Social Observer. Keep an open mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to have Eddie Bravo on. I don't have Eddie's contact information. I forgot to get it when we hung out that day. But I'd love to have Eddie Bravo on. Okay, let's see. Such division created about the shape of the earth. Just another portal to get stuck in. That's funny. That's funny. Jesuits invented the heliocentric model. Same with global warming. Kingus, I hear what you're saying, but I could also argue that the Jesuits invented the flat earth model too, because the Jesuits invented the Bible, and the Bible teaches the flat earth model. See, we got to learn to quit calling names and start pooling information. That's what I say. And it's my show, so guess what? I get the last word. Yes, you can get your Mistec in German. You'll get it by however it's delivered. If UPS is over there, FedEx, one of the two, UPS, FedEx. Anywhere they go, Mistec goes, ladies and gentlemen. Melly with an interesting statement. Either way you look at it, we're still in outer space, although I think a flat earth enthusiast would argue that with you, Melly. But at any rate, it's interesting stuff, and let's keep our minds open. See, there's Dyer. Are we? Are we in outer space? It's fun and it's interesting. And I think we waste too much time throwing stones instead of stacking our stones together and using them to figure a way. All right. We are here mainly to remind you that you are divine, you're sovereign and free. We're here to remind you that you are not filled with original sin, but that you've got the spark of divinity within. And we are here to encourage you to guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, and be your own guru. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I am here to help you and to encourage you to indoctrinate yourself. I know winners write history. And when I look at the 40,000 plus winners that are subscribed to this channel, I'm confident we can win today and together build a better tomorrow. We're the last generation of real humans. This world is not bad and getting worse. It's good and getting better. And you and I are here to make damn sure that it does. Until this evening, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, saluting you all for being here, seeking after truth Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again tonight for more podcast excellence right here on the Christian Whistleblower channel. Please like, please subscribe. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you hated it. You can contact me at Gotham, it's like Batman, or it's like Gotham, LTD at gmail.com, or the Christian Whistleblower at gmail.com. And I forgot, we have a new sponsor, C60 Purple Power, C60 purplepower.com. Number one antioxidant on the planet. It helps your cells do everything they do more efficiently with less energy. And if your cells are more efficient, you're more efficient. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. Look at my other great sponsors, c60purplepower.com. The code is TCW10 for you to save 10% and change your life. We'll see you again real soon.